Hi, what's up everyone? Did you know that you can now have bright pink hair on the Division 2? I had no idea this was included in yesterday's update until I read a tweet on Twitter from one of the devs. Also, during yesterday's stream, we did 12 hours. There's a lot of questions being asked. There's some bugs, some things like that. So I just wanted to go over today in this video, just like 10 things that you may have missed from yesterday and things that you're going to want to know about. So starting with the hair, at the base of operations, if you come to the barber, you are able to customize your appearance. I'm sure you're aware of this. And if you go to hair color and scroll all the way down to the bottom, this is where a load of new colors have been added. You've got this bright pink. You've also got this shade of pink. We've got orange, which I think is new. There's like lime green. There's this teal sort of color. There's all sorts at the bottom here. Purple as well. More, I'd say, red sort of color than we've had before. I'm not sure if all these at the bottom are brand new. There's definitely some new additions there, including this pink color. Next, I just want to talk about skill mods and exactly how that works, because I was really confused by this and I didn't really get it, but I do now. It is explained in the patch notes. If you haven't had a chance to read them properly, I'm going to explain exactly how skill mods work now. So if we go into one here for my sticky bombs, you'll notice that we've got all these different mods and they go into different slots. Now, how skill mods work in the new update is you're not going to need to store these or even manage them, to be quite honest with you. If we head over to the patch notes, you can see this snippet here on skill mods. I just want to read to you. Implemented a duplicate removal system for skill mods. When a superior skill mod is acquired, it will automatically replace the existing one, resulting in the deconstruction of the inferior mod. Similarly, if an inferior skill mod is obtained, it will be automatically deconstructed. In both scenarios, the deconstructed skill mod will yield a corresponding amount of printer filament. So what this practically means is we no longer need to manage these. It's going to manage it for us. Now, one exception, what I'd say, is that any current mods that you have, it's not going to manage anything you have current. So I've got two turret ones here that I've had before the update. They both go in the spare parts slot of a turret, and they're both duration. You can see I got 7.4% and 7.5. You are going to need to go through anything you currently have stored and get rid of any duplicates. But once you've done that, the game is then going to take over, and it's just going to keep the best one you have for that slot going forward, which means you don't need to manage it. I do believe that you're going to need to do this per character, and it's not going to include mods that may be in your stash. I want to do some more testing around this, but you can be sure that the game is going to manage any skill mods that you have on each character, so you don't need to worry about hoarding any going forward. Next, I just want to discuss the bug on recalibrating your exotics. If we come to the crafting station, you should be aware now that any exotic weapon you're able to reconfigure to get any third attribute that you want. Well, I say that it'll be random when you reconfigure it, but you can keep on reconfiguring until you get damage to target out of cover if that is what you're looking for. Now, in the PTS, there was a bug when you did this and you'd lose the exotic when you reconfigured it, and that did pass over to the full release yesterday, and people were losing exotics. They were reconfiguring them, and the eagle bearers would go missing, the Ouroboros would go missing, and things like that. And it's terrible, really. I hope you get it back. But they did say one fix for this and why they think it was happening. If you are going to reconfigure exotics at the moment, they just suggest to make sure that your inventory is not full. So from the crafting station, you can see this at the top there. I'm currently 87 out of 150. So I should be safe to do this. If you're 150 out of 150 and you go to recalibrate something or reconfigure something rather, you're going to lose that exotic. And the problem is when you reconfigure, say I want to do the St. Elmo's now, I've got to use the St. Elmo's that I've got. I'll throw that into the crafting station, and then I'm going to use this to then craft a new St. Elmo's. So the problem with that is if I don't get the new St. Elmo's, I've dismantled my old one to get it, which means I'm left then with no St. Elmo's potentially. So be very careful of that until they fix it. Make sure you are not reconfiguring when you are at max inventory. The only thing I am going to say about this is I did ask a lot of people in chat yesterday, was it just max inventory? And people were saying that they were losing exotics even when their inventory wasn't maxed out. So I'm just going to err on the side of caution myself, and I'm not going to do no reconfiguring until they fix this issue. And I suggest that also if you're worried about losing your exotics. We did test it. Penny had a load of space in her inventory, and she had an exotic she didn't mind losing, and she re-rolled it about 10 times, and she was absolutely fine. It never happened. So it's up to you whether you risk this or not, but the developers have put a message out saying that if your inventory is not full, it should be okay. Another problem or bug that I got asked about a lot in yesterday's stream was around the Season 3 rewards track. They were purchasing it and they weren't able to get the rewards for the purchase part of the track. So you know how these work? You get the top part of the track for free. You're able to go through all 100 levels of the season without paying any money, and everything on the top side here you will get. But the bottom part of the track is the paid version, it's the premium version. You get lots of cosmetics, some emotes, and stuff like that. Loads of dyes, and you get a mask at the end for getting all the way to 100. That pass itself costs 1,000 Phoenix credits. It's under the add-ons in the store, and it will show that it's owned once you purchase it. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't go live right away. So don't worry about that. When I purchased this pass, it took about 30 minutes before the game recognized that I owned it. And there has been some even worse cases in the past. I think back to last season on Season 2. I mentioned Penny again because she bought the season pass for Season 2 and she never got it for 2 weeks. She actually bought it twice and she had to have an exchange with Ubisoft support to get that sorted out, but it took 2 weeks before she got it. I'm hoping that doesn't happen with any of you guys, and that's like the absolute worst case scenario. But if you do buy the pass and you don't have access to it right away, don't worry, just give it some time. Maybe log out and back in a few times and it should appear soon, so just be patient. This also relates to the current bundle that is on sale. We've got this limited time bundle up here where you're able to get this outfit. It's the Lovebirds bundle. It's pretty sick. It's 1,973 Phoenix credits to get it all. And the same again, when you purchase this, it isn't a guarantee that you're going to get a hold of it right away. Penny bought this yesterday along with Incoming, and both of them never got these items right away. They had to wait for whatever reason until the game recognized that they own them before they got them added to their inventory. Another thing I got asked a lot about yesterday was about the Textile Vendor. This was announced the day before the update on the special report stream, and we're now going to have a vendor like Cassie Mendoza that we're going to be able to find. It's going to be timed, and you're going to be able to spend your textiles at this vendor. You're limited as in how much you can get. You can see here on screen a screen of this vendor and what they're selling. You can get an exotic cache, a named item cache, optimization cache, and it's got 2 in stock, 3 in stock, or 1 in stock. You can use your textiles to buy these. Now, a lot of people were excited by this and are wondering where it was and how they find this in the update that just went live. This isn't in the game right now. This is why you can't find it. This will be released in update 20.1. It's normally like a week or two after the main update goes live. They do a 20 or whatever 0.1 patch just to fix a few things and just to make sure everything is stable. This is going to go live the second 20.1 goes live. So you just got to wait a little bit for this. Something else that was mentioned in that live stream was new commendations for Paradise Lost. These are in the game right now. You don't need to wait for these. Can't show you them in game because I don't know where to find them. I think the whole commendation menu needs an overhaul, but they are in the patch notes. So we'll go over them here, what has been added. So they've added new commendations for the Paradise Lost incursion. You've got Incursion Effective Award, where you're awarded for eliminating 10 hostiles during an incursion, Paradise Lost, while you're under a status effect. The Skillful Incursion, awarded for eliminating enemies using 5 different skills during the incursion. You've got Incursion X Award, awarded for successfully securing the Merit Estate 10 times. Incursion Collector, awarded for discovering all the collectibles in the Mirror Estate. And Perfect Paradise Lost, awarded for completing an incursion without any of the 4 team members being downed while not using any medkits. So I did go and dig out one of these commendations because I wanted to find out if they were like retroactive or not, and they're not. So you can see here, Incursion X award for completing Paradise Lost 10 times. I've done this over 100 times before the update and I've not got it. So you are going to need to go for these commendations from scratch, even if you have completed these prior. Before we get to the end of the video, one more point I just want to take from the patch notes is this part about leaderboards. It mentions how in response to the balancing changes, a total of 273 leaderboards have been reset, including Kenley College, Raid, Strongholds, Clan, Standard Solo, Standard Group, Invaded Solo, and Invaded Group. I'm not too sure what this means because if we go over to leaderboards and if we go to the clan leaderboard as an example, it appears to me that the clan leaderboard is still as it was. I can then go over to raids as well, and if we have a look at Operation Dark Hours and the number of completed raids, this seems to be the same as well. So I'm not sure what they have reset there. I'd be interested to know if you found anything that has been reset down in the video comments so people can have a read on this, because obviously a reset in leaderboards is quite a big thing. And yeah, I'm not seeing where they've actually reset anything based on what I'm reading from the patch notes. So I'd like some more information off you guys for that if you have it. And a little bit more information from you guys if you can. One of the big conversations in yesterday's stream was how much better the game looks. Now, I didn't think much of it, and I think it's easier to tell at nighttime. But on PC, at least, it seems to be that the texturing and the lighting is just a tad better, where it is quite noticeable. Hello in chat was basically going around just looking at all the improvements, and she was saying things like just go and have a look inside a vehicle and you can just see like the texture that has been added. You can see like the steering wheel, the radio textures, the dust on the dashboard, things like that has just been really improved. You can see the dust on the car. It was like beforehand that texture or detail just wasn't there. I'm not sure if this is the same on console, but things just looked the hell of a lot better. It looked more beautiful. And like I said, at nighttime, I could really tell myself, it really does appear like there's been some graphical adjustments. This isn't in the patch notes though, and they've mentioned nothing about this. What I would say though is they have said they fixed 2,000 bugs. Now, what if some of those bugs were around like the game optimization with the texturing and things like that? If they've fixed some bugs relating to that, then now the game might be running fully optimized, which means on PC especially, you're going to be getting the most out of the graphics that are available to you. So that could be something that has been done. Have you noticed this yourself? Have you noticed that your Division 2 now just looks a little bit more sharper, a little bit better? Are you on console? Are you on PC? Let me know down in the video comments. It's something that we discussed at length yesterday, and I'd like to know if you're experiencing the same as we are. Now, on to the most important thing and a little bit of a spoiler. If you've not completed the Manhunt yet, you're going to want to turn this video off now. At the end of the Manhunt, people may not go into the collectibles and go and visit the comms. Not everybody does this, but this is a big part of the Manhunt this season. If we go down to the Manhunt comms, you'll find the Manhunt Vanguard comms. Now, you've got the normal ones that we can listen to, which we kind of pick up as we're going through the Manhunt. But in addition, at the end of this week's Manhunt, you'll find this Kelso 1, the comms that aren't safe. And this gets a lot of like brain processing going on in my head as to where this story is going. Let's have a read of this. The comms aren't safe. The Black Tusk and Rogues have eyes and ears everywhere, and the Hunters have access to all of it. I wish I could tell you where I am, but it's not safe. You're not safe. If we're together, we're a threat, especially here. Agent, I know you. You're smart. If you found this, I know you're on the right path. Find me and I can tell you everything I found out about Cassandra. K. Now, Kay's obviously Kelso, and this is like a note that Kelso's left for us that nobody else can see. It's a written note. Okay, it's not going for Isaac or anything like that. As she's saying there's eyes and ears everywhere, but she does want to link back up as together we're a threat. She's got to explain everything that is going on and everything that she's learnt. This season is all about Kelso and finding out where Kelso is. We are worried that she may have gone rogue and things like that, and there's a big sort of like trust issue right now in the division, and can we even trust Kelso? Well, to me, this kind of confirms we can. It definitely doesn't sound like she's going rogue. So I think already we know Kelso is good. But what has she found out? Now, Cassandra apparently is a character that is in the new division book, if you've read it. So Cassandra is a real person, and we heard about Cassandra in the cutscene at the start of this new season. So I'm very interested in seeing where this is going ahead. I imagine every Manhunt we're going to get another note like this that'll explain more until we finally find Kelso, who is our prime target at the very end of the Manhunt, and she's going to explain what the hell is going on. Now, what I would say is this. Season 3, they always said was going to be story driven, and before they delayed the DLC, the brand new endgame and DLC was going to come after this season. So I imagine this season originally was going to lead into that DLC, so I'm expecting big things. Now, with the DLC being delayed to 2025, we probably got another 2 seasons or even 3 before that new DLC comes out. So it does kind of like, I've been thinking this for weeks. How are they going to alter this Manhunt to now have it extended by 3 more seasons before we get that DLC? What I believe this will have led into, if that makes sense. So I am thinking that we're probably going to get the full sort of story still like they planned, and who knows, maybe the next few seasons will be a few throwback seasons, or they've kind of created something just to keep us going until the DLC. I am expecting something very, very big at the end of this though. There's talk about Aaron Keener still being alive. We're learning more about Keener through this story. Was Keener really that much of a bad guy? Was his agenda actually for the good? I don't know. Is Kelso gonna be a bad guy at the end of this, or are they even going to really spin it on the head? And this is one thought process I had. She mentions about both of us together being a threat, and that she doesn't want anybody hearing our comms. Maybe she doesn't even want the division hearing our comms. And there's something we find out where we, with Kelso, kind of go rogue in our own way. That's something people have asked for a long time, is a storyline where we go rogue. Who knows? As I said, it's got my mind wondering. I'm thinking loads about this, and I can't wait to see how this Manhunt plans out. Please do continue the discussion down in the video comments. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts about that and where you think the season story is heading. As you can tell, I'm very excited by it, so let's discuss it down in the comments. This is the end of the video now, though. I said there was 10 things I was going to share with you today that you might want to know about the new update. We might have only covered 9, so the final thing I want to add on at the end here is flashbangs. They've changed the flashbang on the game. I got no footage. It's a 12-hour stream. I couldn't go and find where it happened. But when you get flashbanged previously, your screen would go bright, sort of white. It was really bright. They've changed that in the game now. It's going to be it's a black screen. So it's not that hard on the eyes now when you do get flashbanged, and you're just going to see a black screen. If you look close as well, you can even see an outline. It's much, much better. So another change that we weren't expecting. It wasn't in the patch notes, and another great quality of life update. But that is definitely everything for this video now. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like to support it, subscribe for more content, and until the next video, take care and peace out.